Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well, and welcome to a bonus Monday upload for a bit of vloggage. So welcome back to the channel, folks. Now I don't often upload a video on a Monday. This is going to be a bit of a strange one because I'm doing a bit of a test. This video may sound and look quite different to what my videos usually do. And I apologise if it sounds or looks bad because this is very much a test run. I may not even post this video. We'll see how it goes. But basically, I've got to the end of my tether with a GoPro camera, so I've decided enough is enough. I need to try something else out. So that is the purpose of today's ride, just to test this camera out that I'm using. And I know what you're going to be thinking, well, what camera are you going for then? Well, I've gone for something called an Osmo Action 4. I've gone for it because my mate Dave from Really Good TV, he absolutely swears by these cameras, and I've been moaning to him about the trials and tribulations I've been having with GoPros for ages, and he keeps saying to me, why don't you go with the Osmo Action 4, it's by far a better camera. And well, I finally relented. I kind of hadn't changed because I've been with GoPro for 11 years now. I've got loads of their cameras. I've got two of the latest cameras. I've just bought new lenses and new media mods for one of them. But I tell you what, I get let down so often by them in terms of sound packing up that well, I just can't stand it anymore, so I'm going to try something else. So if this camera turns out to be as good as Dave reckons they are, then this could be the way I go. Anyway, I don't want to make this a nerdy camera video, and it's definitely not a review video. I paid 560 odd quid for this camera. It's just me testing it really, and if it works out that it's good, as I say, this will be the camera of future. Anyway, how are you anyway? Hope your Monday's going better than mine. I'm recording this on Monday, November the 20th, and as you can see here in Great Missenden, it is not too bad a day. Not raining actually. Forecast was that it was going to rain, so it's a bit of a bonus that I could get out on the bike. The reason why I thought I should come out and give it a try though is because on Wednesday I'm going to be recording the next biker scrum with Jeff and Dan. We'll be somewhere in the south of England trying a bike calf, or just a calf probably, I don't know, not quite sure yet where we're going. We're in debate at the moment. But if you do get out and about on Wednesday on your bike and you see us, do come and say hello. And the forecast at the moment is looking alright, dry anyway, albeit not warm. Right, I wanted to come through these trees because I want to have a little look at how this camera copes with lots of detail in a low light image. So there's not a lot of light at the moment, lots of leaves. Normally the GoPro would go all blocky through this stuff. And one of the little tips that Dave gave me was to set the camera to 1/100th of a second if you're recording at 50 frames per second. That should keep things nice and smooth. Again, I don't want to get camera nerdy on here, but that's what I've done. So I shall be looking when I edit this to see how that looks as I went through there. Check out these clouds. It's going to rain soon, so I hope this test run's alright. This is actually the second test run and the second video I've recorded today. The first one was I enjoyed the ride, but the sound quality was just appalling. I'm using a really cheapo, nasty microphone plugged into the camera, so I'm not expecting the sound quality to be brilliant. But it was really overmodulated and clipping something rotten, so I've made some adjustments. I'm hoping this is at least usable. If not, I've got to come up with a different solution for sound with this new camera, because I think the picture quality is certainly going to be alright. I've got it set on a very wide field of view, and it might just be a little bit too wide, so I'll be looking at that as well. I might need to set it to just wide. Anyway, what have you been up to at the weekend? Anything good? I went up north actually. I went to Liverpool, and it rained all weekend. Had a great time, but yeah, pretty unpleasant. Although my daughters who were at home said the weather down here wasn't too bad. So hope you did manage to get out on the bike if you are based in the south, and if you're based in the north where I was, hard luck. It was a pretty horrible weekend, wasn't it? One of the highlights of my weekend was watching the latest Starship launch. Did you see that? The latest massive rocket that Elon Musk has developed with SpaceX, something I've been following very closely for the last 5 years. I'm a bit of a rocketry nerd, so again I won't go into too much detail, but it was the second integrated flight test of his big rocket. It's in fact it's the biggest, most powerful rocket ever produced. It's bigger than the Saturn V that took man to the moon. It has twice as much thrust as the Saturn V, and when it's properly developed, it will be fully reusable. So that is going to change the way that we do space travel, and I'm really fascinated by it. And on Saturday there was the latest launch of that, which went really well. Got past something called hot staging, which is what we were looking for on that, I'll say we, us space nerds, were hoping was going to happen, and that all happened fine. And then there was a RUD, a rapid unscheduled disassembly, a little bit later on, but overall the test was a massive success, despite what you might read in the press. We don't always understand the way that it seems rocket development works, but anyway, that's by the by. A little bit chilly out on the bike today. I'm on my Speed Twin, absolutely love this bike. I don't know if you can hear the engine too much through this microphone, I suspect not. It's a relatively quiet bike anyway. Just purrs along underneath me, I love it. It's a little bit damp on the road, so I may need to give the bike a clean.
So by way of a test while I'm out on the bike, I thought I should just do a little bit of a shot using this new camera off the bike, because of course if I'm out doing a bike review or something, this is what I tend to do. Although I used to have a separate GoPro for that, but because of the way that this camera works in terms of its mounting mechanism, I can probably get away with one. Anyway, you don't care about that. Let me just show you the bike, just by way of a test again. Let's just have, this is probably the least picturesque place I could have come. There's my bike, the Speed Twin. Absolutely love this thing. And actually, it's not looking too bad. Will I need to give it a wash? I don't know. Anyway, there we go. Right, anyway, that was just a little test to see what this camera's like if I were to do a walk around on a bike review. Right, back to the riding.
So if you are watching this, it means that the sound was almost usable. It may not be brilliant, so I apologise if it's not. Still working on that. Surprisingly difficult to get good sound on the helmet cameras. I've kind of sussed it with the GoPro, but obviously I'm in new territory now with this camera. Winter is properly upon us, isn't it? It's a bit chilly out. It's about 8 degrees, and I've not gone thermal underwear yet. I think next time I come out I'll do that. When I come out and meet up with the chaps on Wednesday, I should certainly be fully kitted out, because it ain't that warm out here, it has to be said, even with my heated grips on. I say a huge thanks to those of you that watched and left such nice comments on the recent series I did with the National Motor Museum. I thoroughly enjoyed my day up there, looking around the museum, riding some old bikes. Those videos didn't do very well in terms of views. I didn't expect them to. Those sort of videos really do. But the people that watched them left some really glowing comments saying that they were some of the best videos I'd ever made. So if you've not watched them and you are at all interested, then do go back and check those out. I really enjoyed making them. And it was quite disappointing to see that, particularly on the last video, only got something like 6,000 views so far, whereas a video I did recently last week when I just nipped out with Mrs. Flyer, in fact when I had a microphone meltdown on the old GoPro, that video, it's got about 30,000 views, and that took me a couple of hours to make, whereas the National Motor Museum ones took me many days to make and cost me a fair amount of money. So I will continue to make lots of variety on my channel. I do like keeping the channel varied, and I do accept that some videos will get more views than others. If you just wanted to go for views, you just make bike reviews all the time, and you can make a perfectly good channel with lots of subscribers and views just doing that. But for me, there's not a lot of fun in that. I like to review bikes that I actually stand a chance of liking, so I will continue to do that. And I've got some cracking bikes lined up actually for the new year on long-term loan, bikes that I know will do well with viewers of this channel. At least I hope they will. So looking forward to doing those, but I will continue to bring some variety as well. But for example, talk about that National Motor Museum piece. Now the guys did pay me expenses, so I had a hotel night for which they paid £200. I think the hotel was actually about 150, but then there was fuel as well, so they covered the expenses for that video, which was great, or those 3 videos I should say, and that doesn't normally happen, so that was a bonus. But then it was 2 days actually making those videos, getting there, the travel and back, plus doing them. Then it was about 4 days of editing to make those 3 videos in total, or say 3 days of editing plus a day of sundry other stuff that you have to do to get videos up, organising it and so on, and then uploading and what have you. So in total about 6 days work. And that last video, for example, will have made me about £30. All the videos together, without checking, I imagine I would have made about £200 on those videos. But that's just 6 days work, as I say. So yeah, doesn't make much business sense. I don't know many people that would work for £200 for 6 days. But anyway, I'm not complaining because I absolutely love making those videos, and as I say, I'll continue to do so. I get that, luckily. YouTube isn't my only income, but the fact is, making videos like that don't make any business sense to do, cost money. Another example, the recent Japan series that I'm editing at the moment, and I cannot wait to bring you that. I think it's the best series that I've made. So I'm hoping that gets reasonable views, but I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't, because again, tour videos don't necessarily get big views. But that, although some of the costs were met by the tour company that I went with, for example, the actual bike rental, for example, I had to pay for most of the flights, miscellaneous flyers, hotels, fuel, food, etc. Basically, we ended up spending about £6,500 on that trip. And I imagine overall, even though there'll be a few videos out of that, it would have taken me, well, we were out there for a month. It's taken me another 6 weeks to edit. It's 10 weeks work, and we won't make back that £6,000, £6,500 we spent going out there doing it. So we'll probably lose money on those videos. So we can't do. So again, although they get good comments and they're fascinating to make, and I know a lot of you do enjoy them, they just don't make a lot of business sense to make, and I just cannot keep spending that sort of money on trips and tours. So anyway, I'm not moaning. It sounds like, well, I am moaning a bit. I'm just giving you some insight into how these things work. It's a costly endeavour making videos, and you can see why professional, proper film production companies charge so much to make films, because if you actually want to make money and make a living doing it, you actually do have to charge some serious money. And in the YouTube world, people don't tend to realise that, I don't think. So it's alright if, like today, I'm just nipping out for half an hour and making a quick vlog. It'll take me a few hours to edit and upload, and that's it. So less than a day's work to make this one. And this, ironically, will probably do alright. It'll probably get more than 20,000 views. It won't have cost me much to make. So I might end up today, over time, I might end up making about 100 quid on today. But again, that's not massive money to make, is it? Anyway, I don't do it for money, I do it for love. And I shall continue doing it for that reason as long as I can afford to do so. It's just great to be out on an unexpectedly dry day. I really didn't think it was going to be dry today. So what a bonus. Let's just look in the mirror. It looks like the camera's still running, thank goodness for that. I'm fascinated to see how these leaves and so on turn out on this video. Right, I think what I'll do is a bit of a Yui here, because it is past my eating time. I'm absolutely starving, and as I failed to put my heater kit on, I'm starting to get a bit cold. It is chilly out here. So time to head back, but at least it gives me a chance to see what it's like with the light in the other direction. So quite a busy week ahead for me. As I say, I got Biker Scrum recording on Wednesday and then editing that night. I'll try to finish off desperately the Japan trip, as those are going to start to go up from December the 2nd. I've also got some other stuff to get in the can quite quickly, because this time next week, or in fact next Tuesday, I think it's the 28th, I'm off to have an operation on my shoulder, which means I won't be able to ride a bike for I'm not quite sure how long, at least a couple of weeks. So I'm going to have some videos in the can for them. So those are planned. In case you're wondering what I'm having done on my shoulder, well, you're not, I'm going to tell you. Basically, I'm having a bit of my collarbone taken out. I'm having some bit of joint clean out, sort of keyhole surgery job. I have arthritis in my right shoulder, as well as some all sorts of issues actually with it, which hopefully are all going to be fixed via keyhole surgery next week. I am going to be under general anaesthetic. I've never had one of those before. I'm absolutely cacking myself about it. So maybe if you could put my mind at rest and leave me some comments below about your good experiences with general anaesthetic, I'd love to hear them. Don't leave me your bad ones though, because I'll just get more frightened about the oncoming surgery. But you know, at the end of the day, lots of people have far worse than that, don't they? So I'm trying to keep a sense of perspective. But hopefully it'll be worth it. The surgeon said it's worth a go before actually replacing the whole joint, which would be the next step. We might get a few years of mobility out of it before going down that route, so hopefully that'll be the case. Right, it's going to be a good test of this camera around this corner because the light is starting to drop a little bit. The sun's going to be on a cloud, and then it's a tree-lined bit. It's a pretty low light out here. It's going to be very interesting to see how the camera copes. Oh, this bike, the engine runs hot on the Speed Twin, and on a day like today where it's chilly in this country, that's a definite bonus. So I'm sitting in my heater, it's nice, not so good in the summer of course. Right, I'm going to head back, make myself some lunch, check out this video, and if I end up uploading it today, then it's at least half decent, but I apologise in advance if the sound is a bit rubbish, because I'm kind of expecting that to be the case. Right, normal service resumed on Wednesday with my next regularly scheduled upload. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you again soon. Until then, this has been the Missington Flyer. Cheerio.
Hey kids, we're the Missington Flyers.